Too good. दो है ना? Where did Daniela go? Oh. What shloka are we on? Did we finish 10? We have to start 10. Good. So let us begin. Repeat after me. 10th shloka of Bhajagovindam. Vayasi gate kaha kama vikaraha shushke nire kaha kasaraha क्षीणे वित्ते कह परिवारः ज्ञाते तत्वे कह संसारः. After having given the crux of entire Vedantic knowledge in just 4 sentences, Satsangatve Nisangatvam Nisangatve Nirmohatvam Nirmohatve Nischalatatvam Nischalatatve Jivan Muktihi. Having given the importance to that sequence and the entire knowledge and wisdom given in such simple words, now the next shlokas talk about all those reasons because of which we are stuck, we are caught up, and we don't end up proceeding further. See, there is one which is called ignorance. I didn't know. Second phase is I knew, but there are enough reasons. Many times it is those reasons and not understanding them clearly is where we feel stuck in life. Otherwise, we know the basic fact. The simple things like I should not get angry. Do we all know that? That we should not get angry? कब पता चलता है? When do we realize it? So the posthumous reality that we realize after the fact, before the act, did we not know it? We knew it, but there is a disconnect that it doesn't get kicked in. That knowledge or that understanding doesn't get kicked in. Because we are, in a sense, deeply attached or wrongly deeply attached to certain convictions which require a complete re-evaluation. So those items are highlighted, and before he highlights it, he is posing certain objections. Now, objections look like questions, but it is not for them to be answered. Objections are raised so that the individual reading it pauses, thinks, and re-evaluates. It's just like when you talk to your children and you have had it enough, and you object to certain things in a question format. क्या अपने आप को बड़ा स्मार्ट समझता है? Right? If that is it's not a question to be answered. हाँ मम्मा, मैं अपने आप को स्मार्ट समझता हूँ, तो 2 लपटा देने का मन करता है ना? Objections are not raised for the purpose of it being answered. It is like, don't be a Smarter leg. Pause. Think what you're doing is what you want to say with that kind of a questioning. And it's an ancient technique that you raise the objection so that the individual has a moment to pause, think, re-evaluate. So similarly, he is asking 4 poignant questions, trying to cover as many aspects in through those 4 perspectives, so that we have a moment to start thinking. Therefore, in all 4 sentences in this particular shloka, you will find the word kaha. Every sentence in this 10th shloka has kaha. Kaha means what. So as soon as that appears as a question format, don't raise your hand and start answering. So that is the distinction first. Vayasi gate kaha kama vikaraha. As we age, those that which we vehemently desired for at a younger age, band hai. That which we desired for, craved for at a younger age, we start losing our interest in such desires. Right? Whatever be the compelling force. When we are young, we used to have toys. Growing up back in India, I never grew up with toys. हमारे खिलौने अलग थे. Our toys were little different. But nonetheless, let me ask, how many of you grew up with toys? Pretty good. Quite a few. I think I grew up like a mawali. We would go out, play गिल्ली डंडा. खेला है कभी? कंचे खेले? हाँ जी? Oh, वो भी खाया. Very good. There used to be what do you call hop something. हाँ, तो उसका इंडियन वर्जन होता था. वो होता था, पता नहीं, बहुत सारे. It was always in the street, out there. If nothing else, neighbors' trees. मतलब neighboring हुड में जिसके भी फलने वाले फूलने वाले पेड़. We had a unwritten MOU with the neighborhood. Their effort, they say, right, you do the karma, you are the one who are going to experience the phala of it. I think that never worked in our neighborhood. They would put the karma and we would have their phala. Whether it was papaya, whether it was pomegranate, whether it was guava, mango, they would grow it for us. That was the memorandum of understanding. We would be on the trees. So while growing up, you have these toys. How many of you have, just as a weird question, still have those toys with you? Have we? Arre wah. Can you give what toy was it? You still have it? So he kept it, not you. His karma, your phala. Who else raised? Huh? You train. Oh, with the thread. Arey वाह. Utensils, those toy utensils. Wow. You also raised your hand? Which parallel universe did you grow up in? Transformers while you were growing up? था? So you have those. Wow. मैं तोड़ के दूंगा. If you are searching for a new equipment. What is your attitude towards those toys now? You remember when you were using it when you were a child? The kind of attachment that was there? My toy, mine, nobody else touches it. You'll see that in your children also, right? When will you grow up? Acha, so there are two wise people in your life. Both ask you the same question. See, at that age, if somebody else were to touch it, you would get agitated. At this age, when there is a kid that comes and wants to play it with it, you give them that and enjoy them playing it. You are not disturbed. I'm getting across? To a point wherein you vicariously enjoy others enjoying it. But you yourself, ठीक है, हमारा भी एक जमाना था बेटा, अब तुम खेलो. Same thing with food. There comes an age where metabolism, I hear, slows down. Does it? And then, Haji? No, इसीलिए I hear that there is such thing. तो जो पहुंचे हैं उनको बोलने दीजिए ना. बोल रहे हैं बेचारे, तो बोलने दीजिए. वो भी क्या जमाना था. There was a time when the appetite was good. Yes. हाँ, अब बताइए. हाँ. So that is the difference, right? There is a certain age wherein even the thought of it, you start salivating for it. There is an age where the thought of it, na baba. Because after eating it, the acidity and then the heartburn and then the sleeplessness, and there is a time where you could drink coffee any time of the day, tea any time of the day or the evening, and you could just march on. Somebody had come and I was going to drink a cup of coffee in the late afternoon and said, can I offer you coffee? So that person said, even if I smell it, I will not be able to sleep for the next 3 days, Swami. Exaggerating it, saying that it can disturb. The desire is not there for it anymore. For most of the things, vayasi gate kaha kama vikaraha. That which I crave for at a certain age, by the time age comes, you're not you're not interested in it anymore. It doesn't distract you, it doesn't attract you anymore. If it still does, then growing has to be done. Ha. The inverse of it, that anyway I know that I reach to that age where there will not be any desire. Along with not having desire, you will not have the functionality or the capacities of the mind and the body to be of productive use. So, so what Nachiketa says, he says very beautiful thing that, you know the story of Nachiketa? So he goes to Bhagavan Yama, and at Yamadvara, when I say Yamadvara, his office is in Yampuri, but his residence is in Swarga. He doesn't live in his office. Am I getting across? So in his residence, Nachiketa arrives, and Yamaraj is caught up for 3 continuous days. He has not come back home. And this young boy refuses to go inside the house and accept the, what you may call, the Atithya, the hospitality. He keeps waiting outside without eating, without participating. Outside he stands. It is said that when a guest comes to your house, an Atithi, guest means Atithi. Atithi matlab kya? The person who has come without date and time, without a prior appointment. They are not called gate cashers. They are called Atithi. Atithi Devo Bhava. So when the Atithi comes, it is our responsibility to give hospitality and take care of them. And this fellow refuses, Nachiketa, refuses to take even a sip of water. 3 days he stands there. He says, no, my dad sent me with a focused purpose of meeting Yama, and I'll wait for him. So Yamaraj comes, and he has a backdoor entry. He parks his vehicle. Do you know what he drives? Yamaha. He drives a Buffalo, Buffalo. So he comes, parks his vehicle, gets off. As soon as he comes, his wife informs that there is a Atithi. Anashnan Athitir Agata. The person is not even partaken with, even taking a sip of water. Do you know what is the tag word that goes along with Yama? Yama is also known as Dharmaraja, Yam Dharmaraj. So he is the very embodiment of dharma in application. He is the epitome of dharma. So Yama Dharmaraja. So when Yama Dharmaraja gets to his, he is shivering, saying that if there is a guest and he has not taken, then all my dharmic punya that has been, it will get washed away. So he goes, he apologizes to this kid and he says, for every night that you have stayed anashnan, not having eaten, I'll give you a boon. I'll give you 3 boons. Ask whatever you want, that shall be fulfilled. So he does namaskar, thanks him for it, then partakes The Atitya sits down and said, give me uno momento. So he processes three boons that he has to take. How old is he? He is Balaka. He is Balaka. He is about 7 to 8 years old, somewhere in between that. So the 7-year-old processes this opportunity and he says, with the first boon that you have given, my father was pretty mad when I left him before coming here. May my family, my father, my entire, may they find peace in their heart. Let my thought in their head, their heart, not create agitation. Let them have peace. He also gives at a later stage the sequence as to why he chose those 3 boons. So the first thing that he says, as being born, my first responsibility is towards my parents and family. So with the first boon, I have fulfilled that. The second boon, he says, as I am born into this society, my responsibility towards the society, that I be a viable, positive solution for them so that they benefit because of my presence. So teach me that, because of which the people can find these benefits. He lists them out and Yama gives, and he brings that technique back and gives it to people, and that is his debt towards the society. So towards the parents, my responsibility is done. Towards the society, my responsibility is done. Give me the third boon of Atma Vidya, which is for my self-realization. Now, who is asking? How old is Nachiketa? About 7 to 8 years old. 7 to 8 years old is first grade or second grade, just to put it in today's relevance. If a first grader walks up to me and says, Swamiji, give me Atma Jnana. Or it comes to you, Mama, Dada, I want Atma Jnana. What will your first reaction be? Truthfully say it, not just for the appearance of it. Truthfully, what would you say? No Balavihar anymore. What are you saying?
I was asked that question a few weeks ago. And I told him, he said, why did you come to Chinmay? I said, to learn who I am. I had a 10-minute conversation with that kid.
If it were your kid specifically, the attitude changes immediately. To an extent like no more Chinmay mission. बहुत हो गया अध्यात्म. So 7-year-old asking it, this is easy. Does he even know what he is asking? He's just a kid. So he says, beta, at your age, kids usually love playing. But you are smart. How about I give you this amount of lifespan? So he says, you can live 7 lives worth lifespan. You can, he starts giving you, Nachiketa options. You will have that amount of property, wealth, kingdom, good health. And Nachiketa turns his head away. Fortunately or unfortunately, to the direction where he turns his head, there were Apsarasas and, Ramba, Urvashi, Tilotama, Menaka, all of them were going in their chariots. So he said, oh, you want those? You will have all the Apsarasas for the entire lifespan that you live, they will be with you. Okay. Now, what Nachiketa says will give you the answer for which you had asked. All this story is a prelude for that. So, Nachiketa says, this comes in Kathopanishad, Shvo bhava martyanta yatanta kaitat sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha api sarvam jivitam alpameva tavaiva vaha tava nritya gite. I mean, the audacity with which he responds, and responding to the very epitome, the embodiment of dharma, and to the Lord of Death, thinking of whom apni hil jati hai. He is standing right in front of him and he is giving it back to him. He says, Yama, O Yama, if you cannot give me my third boon, keep your third boon with yourself. What I am asking is very specific. You are giving me everything but, and that which you are giving is pathetic. Why is it pathetic? All these desires, all these cravings, that fulfillment, the possibility of fulfillment of all of it is what Yama is giving him as an opportunity. So the analysis, he is not just vehemently rejecting it because हमने पूछा तो पूछ लिया बस. I have asked it, now you better give me an answer. It was not born out of insistence, but it was born out of thoroughness of understanding. So he says, that which you are giving me, Shva abhavaha. Shva abhavaha is meaningless because there is no guarantee of tomorrow with the things that you have given. Meaning there is no permanency to it. Shva abhavaha. Shva means tomorrow. Shobhava martyanta yadanta kaitat. In this transitory world, whatever you are giving does not have a guaranteed tomorrow. Even if I indulge, that is where it will answer your question. Even if where I will indulge, sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. Through these indulgences, I lose my resourcefulness, I lose my capacities and the sharpness, that at the end of it, I end up becoming dilapidated and completely drained out. And you talk about lifespan worth 7 lives, api sarvam jivitam alpameva. However long we have lived, when you look back at your own life, doesn't it appear like it has gone by in a jiffy? However long that you have lived, api sarvam jivitam alpa, it's insignificant. Therefore, he says, tavaiva vahaha tava nritya gite. All these pleasurable things that you are giving, which increases my craving rather than fulfilling, and depletes me of all my energies and makes me a dull person at the end of the day, I do not care for such. And in lieu of what I have asked, if this is what you can end up giving me, you know what? Keep the third boon with you. I don't care the heck for it. Tavaiva vaha tava nritya gite. Now to that the impressed, this is thorough logic that he is giving with complete understanding. The wisdom and knowledge is given. So that is where is the crux of it. That anyway at that age, see, in Hindi there is a saying, लाचारी का नाम महात्मा गांधी नहीं है. He, at that age where कुछ कर नहीं सकते थे, इसीलिए हमने I have gone or transcended desires. No. While you are in the middle of the thick of it, learning how to balance and grow out of it is where you still have enough potential and have the ability to direct that potential for something greater and higher. Vayasi gate kaha kama vikaraha. Sushke nire kaha kasaraha. Mass of water can be called as a lake only when there is water in it. When the water is evaporated, the entire ecological system along with it gets wiped out. Similarly, that sapidity is called kama. When kama is not there, there is no more possibility of continuation of it. Sushke nire kaha kasaraha. And wealth and all the people and power over people. See, having people around is one thing, but there is a kick out of having control over those people that are around us to be able to have that. So he says, Kshide vitte kaha parivaraha. Once all the wealth is gone, that is why when there is the retirement, the intersection where you have to retire, there's a lot of thought processing that happens, fears and anxieties that erupt. Why? Why that fear and anxiety? Wherever there is the individual that is earning, that individual, around that individual, the decision making and the power and everything gets invoked. Psychologically, that is what happens. Isn't it? Now at that age where this is to now transitioned to the next generation, what happens to the individual who was the center of attention up until then for 45 years, 50 years? Suddenly now the attention has shifted to everybody is not coming to him anymore. Goes to the next person in line, whoever is the hub for that wealth. So हमारे घरों में in the past, when we used to stay in a joint family, there would always be one individual in family. It used to feel very odd, awkward. Very elderly. Wants to know everybody's business. कहाँ जा रहे हो? क्यों जा रहे हो? किससे मिलने जा रहे हो? कब वापस आओगे? Everything needs to be known. And the more they ask, the more they seem to be neglected and ignored. Have you seen such environment? And in their utter sheer frustration, they would say, nobody is paying attention. Nobody respects the elders anymore. Nobody. At that age, what we need to learn is when we reach to that age, we should not become such a nuisance. By the time we reach that age, we should have enough vairagya that unless asked for, we don't get involved and engaged in anything outside. Otherwise, they have all the experience, all the wisdom, but no energy. And who are the younger ones? They have all the energy, they have the urge to go out and experiment. And what is the anticipation of this wise one? Talk to me. I have all the solutions. And the way they come across, it rubs across the grain. Nobody wants to go to them. Kshine vitte kaha parivaraha. Where is the essence of the family if the focus of that earning capacity goes down the lane? There is no more that power that you can hold. Naked fact of life. Similarly, jnate tatve kaha samsaraha. Once you understand the essence of this entire creation, where is samsara anymore? We keep using this word quite regularly in almost all Indian languages and all dialects. ये संसार है, ये samsari है, right? What do you mean by samsara or samsari? Yes, one humorous way of looking at it is the one who is constantly saying some way or the other sorry, some sorry. No, but what is the meaning of samsara? Worldly, material. What did you say? Cycle of life and death. We use it, right? Samsara, samsari. ये संसार की मोह माया, ये संसार के दुख, संसार. What do you mean by sansar? Society, ecosystem, that which keeps changing. See, you have heard all these meanings. I'll give you a new meaning, new perspective. The word, the root word, can be looked in two different roots. One root word for which all that which you have said comes in that, under that root word. The other root word is Sara. Sara means essence. Don't ask a Kannada person, Saru. They'll say Rasam. Rasam in Kannada is Saru. Any Kannada people? Oh, too many. Nimge gottu. Sara in Sanskrit means essence of anything. That vastu, that essence of it. Each one of us is trying to find the meaning of our own existence, the essence of it. We are seeking that which can fill us, complete us. If you have grown up in India, you would know that there is only one thing that can make you a complete person. Raymond's. The complete man. Advertisement yaad hai? Even that will fail. We are all invariably seeking something because we feel some kind of a lack inside. And we try experiment with the world outside. World of things, world of beings, world of environments, world of experiences and situations. We have a bucket list, we want to go fill all of that. By doing all these experiments, somewhere I'll come to click that which will flood me from within. And I'll feel complete, I'll feel full. And therefore, we are experimenting to find that essence, that Sara. Samyak Sara. Samyak meaning comprehensively that which will fill. but we run after it in the wrong places, trying to find this meaningful in an environment which cannot provide it. Have you gone to a place where sugarcane juice is made? यहाँ पे भी I hear that there is a lot of Indian stores where you get it, right? So the sugar cane itself is sent through the squeezer, and they send it and resend it at least half a dozen times. They fold it, again push it in, again take it out, again push it in. By the end of it, what is left? It's a pulp. Just for the heck of experimenting with it, put it in your mouth and start chewing on it. Do you know that the cows do not touch that? Cow and the sheep and the goat do not touch that leftover pulp. Why? Nisara. Nisara means there is no more essence in it. When by experience we come to that point of intersection in life where we confidently can say, I have been there, done that, experimented with everything, burnt my fingers enough number of times. Now I know what? That every avenue out there is a hollow promise, cannot, will not, shall not have the power to give. They themselves do not have it. And I keep sucking on it, where will I find? जिससे मांग रहे हो उसको देने की तो औकात होनी चाहिए. That where I am demanding it from does not have it in its nature to give us that. It is this knowledge, and with this perspective, when I look at the world, without either running for it or running away from it, that is called dispassion. Such a dispassionate one, when stops running and starts looking within, jnate tattve, all the attachment to those things which I thought will give me that fulfillment disappear. I find that that which will actually fill me in is not required because I am already complete from within. Which is what we indicate with our last mantra that we chant in every satsang. What is that? Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevava Avasishyate. If I, this individual, is the expression of that Supreme, and that Supreme is infinite in nature, me, the expression and extension of that Supreme, cannot be finite. Because finitude cannot be subtracted from infinite. If there is infinite, from that infinite, if I take something, just as an assumption, if at all it is possible to take something out of it, if you are able to extract finitude from it, then mathematically that which you assume to be infinite in itself, in its nature, was not infinite, it was finitude alone. And we say Paramatma is infinite So each one cannot be finitude, has to necessarily be, logically be infinite alone. And that when we find from within as our true nature, jnate tatve, kaha samsaraha. There is no further running after or running away from. I just am wherever I am. Content, fulfilled, a constant flow of that peace and joy, a fountain of unending peace and joy, that I become the source of joy and peace for everybody around. Where I am not scared somebody is snatching it away from him. I am not threatened that everybody is using me, abusing me, misusing me. I give because I know I am abundant. So I'll stop there before the tufan gets released. I still have 3 minutes, so you can go pick them up. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.